Hi everyone, this is Kent, and today I'm showing you a stitch that I call the triple Lutz. As you can see, it is I think of it more as a looser stitch. This is using a bulky 5 yarn. I'm using 31 peg 5/8 loom. I'm currently also using the same stitch creating a blanket. That yarn is also of number 5 bulky, but it is a thicker weight yarn, and it's actually bringing the stitches much closer together. So this is a great stitch. Make a blanket, a cowl, a shawl. So let me show you how this works. It's pretty easy stitch also. I'm not claiming the stitch as my own. I didn't find it in any place out there. I did ask several people about it, and they all encouraged me to go ahead and post a video on it. So real quick, I'm just showing you the stitch itself, not actually a project. And that for this cast on, I went ahead and did a double E-wrap cast on, then followed by a purl stitch. So after you finish your cast on, wherever you finish, that coming from that last stitch, we're going to count that as peg number 1. So to start off with the stitch, we're going to knit 2 pegs together. Now, if you're not familiar with knitting 2 pegs together, my yarn is coming from this peg. I'm going to go behind what I'm referring to as peg 2, behind peg 2, in front of peg 2 and peg 1, bring it back, and then knit these 2 pegs together. Again, this is called a triple Lutz stitch. I'm going to bring my working yarn between peg 1 and peg 2. I'm going to do a purl stitch. To do the purl stitch, simply bring your looming tool behind the yarn that's on the peg, bringing it down, grabbing the yarn below it, the working yarn, bringing it up, taking the loop off, and tightening it. When I finish with the purl stitch on the second peg, in my mind I'm saying, okay, I'm now on peg 1 again. So we're going to go ahead and then do the wrap 2 pegs together. Your working yarn from peg 1 around the back of peg 2, in front of peg 2, in front of peg 1, and knit it back off. Now, here, let me count the stitches, because with the triple Lutz there's actually 3 stitches on the peg. Okay, so I just put a stitch on peg 2, I'm sorry, stitches on peg 2. We're going to do a purl stitch, ends up being my second stitch. Then come back in and do my wrap 2 pegs together. When I do the wrap 2 pegs together, I'm putting my third stitch on peg 1, so I'm finished with that peg. I'm putting my first stitch on peg 2, coming through, doing my purl stitch, again my second stitch, doing my wrap 2 pegs together, never got our frame, I apologize. We'll just do it one more time. So have my third wrap was done on this one. So I'm getting, and I have my first stitch on this peg. The purl is my second stitch. And now I'm coming back in and doing my wrap 2 together, knitting those off, and then I have my 3 stitches on this peg. Now, I don't know about you, but I never finish a project in one sitting. Or I might finish it, but I'm going to get up, move around, whatever. So when I have a project like this that has a purl stitch, even though I just popped it off the peg, put it back on here. Okay. When I get ready to step away, I'm going to leave this loop up. That's telling me that that's going to be a purl stitch. That has to come off, and this loop comes back on the peg. And also, since I am going in this direction, I'm just going to loosely wind my yarn between the pegs, going in the direction that I'm headed. On a round project, you're going one direction. This isn't important. When you're doing a flat panel, though, it's often difficult to figure out which way you're going if you leave your work in the middle of a row. Also, let me say one thing about this triple Lutz stitch is I'm doing this in a round here. This works great. Like I said, flat panel, a blanket that I'm working on. It doesn't curl because of the knits and the purl stitches. So you can work this to the edge of your project. What I did on my blanket is work it clear to the edge, do a knit stitch on the end peg, and then come back in and do a purl stitch, and then just continue around with the wrap 2. So it's a great stitch. You can see great fabric. Hope you enjoy it. And I'll be posting another video later showing you the blanket and how the blanket works up. So hope this helps. Hope you enjoy this stitch. I'm not claiming the stitch as my own, so if it's your stitch, please let me know, because I do want to give you credit for it. So happy loom knitting, and I'll see you soon.